Hello and welcome to another series of Hearts of Wulin, where we're playing with the Brindlewood Bay adaptation, bringing that mystery set of rules into the game. And this is another iteration because I've made some tweaks to the mystery system based on my play of the amazing Apocalypse Keys, which is forthcoming from Evil Hat and is dynamite. And actually running that was one of the best games I like seriously fun this year. Very cool stuff. But there are a couple of changes, and I've talked to the players about this in the email, but I'll kind of go over what it is. Before, we kind of had this vague like conspiracy level that was kind of like the Brindlewood Bay's sisters, blah, 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 blah. That whole thing is out. We are organically picking up ideas about the bigger story, about this Green Leaf Society and the master that was killed 10 years ago. Like those things we've been picking up. Those are just going to arise naturally. We don't need a mechanic for that. So I've made a slight change to the study move to do that when we actually kind of go to find clues. Basically, you're going to generate the hold as usual, and you're going to put the clues in the list. The big change is we've got a tab that has our mystery map, and I'm going to change the complexity of the thing, but right now, what it is each mystery has a set of facets. The ones that we have established so far is who is the killer? That'll be one of the questions we'll want to answer once we have the crime on the table. How does this connect to the fall of the Green Leaf Society? What is the true secret of the puzzle sword? And we're going to come up with there'll be another facet that'll be on the table. We're going to put our clues on that map there, on that thing. But then when we come to the end, we're going to like associate the clues with the different facets. We're going to kind of walk through the clues, figure out kind of where they might fit facet wise. And that process of kind of going around and checking with people who made found the clues and stuff really leads to an interesting discussion about what's going on. We kind of don't need to go in with a big theory. We can kind of put things together. I think you will find it a really interesting approach to this. One of the things being that if you roll a 12 plus on your study, you may spend all of your hold to reveal a clue and revise one of the facets. Like change something that we're looking into, like change some direction of what we're investigating, or establish a kind of a new truth about things. It's a very interesting thing. Basically gives you some more power. If you're like, oh, you know what I think would be really interesting is if we kind of shifted some goalposts about the mystery here. So we'll see this in play. And I think you'll find it interesting. I found it a great way to handle things. If you're watching this, hey, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him. And I'm the person who designed and co-wrote Hearts of Wulin with some other authors. This is a game I really enjoy. And this session is part of the Gauntlet Gaming Calendar, which is an online gaming club that you can find out more about at gauntlet-rpg.com. We've got different branches and things. We've got podcasts, all kinds of stuff. So you can check that out. And I want to bring this up because every once in a while it enrages someone. It makes them furious when they're watching the video. We are using safety tools. I have a set of safety tools that we're using. The players are all familiar with this. We are using lines and veils as our baseline. We are using the X card in play, in practice, to mark things out. And then we have an open door policy if people need to step away. I want to quickly go through what we've already established as lines, veils, and ask firsts. And ask the players if there's anything else you want to add to this. At this point, this is a living document. So right now we have hard lines on the following things. These are things that's not part of the game we're going to be playing. Dental horror, homophobia, sexual assault, and torture, particularly torture by the PCs, are things that are off the table. But it does include general torture as well. But then we have veils on graphic gore, harm to animals, spiders, and suicide. Those are things that if they happen, they're happening kind of off stage, where we're alighting, we're mentioning them, but we're not dwelling them on camera. And then we've got some ones that we're going to have ask first on, meaning that regardless, we're always going to check in with these things. And that is questions of mind control, questions of PC betrayal. And if we were going to even bring something about suicide up on the table, we want to check in with the table before we did that. So those things are all there. But let's come to our characters. You may all clear your elements. You will keep your shadows marked. There is an advance to clear some of those, but right now they are marked. Let's start with Bao-Shi. Bao-Shi, tell us about your two entanglements right now, and if you're happy with those, or if you want to make a change in any of them.
Let's see, my
romantic, or if you want to mark them, maybe I'm thinking about changing this.
All righty. I have a romantic one of I love Captain Lynn, Guard Captain Lynn, who I've known all my life, but Magistrate Delon continually reminds them of my youthful indiscretions. And I have a general one of I found that Lost Song Janai has hidden their true identity from everyone because of their past with Blue Mountain Sentinel.
Are you good with those? Or are you kind of thinking about making some changes?
I might change up that romantic one.
Okay. We will have Songbird Jun here present on the table, so just keep that in mind. And of course, we have a couple of other returning NPCs that we'll be bringing back. Plus, you'll see we're going to have our full cast of characters available to our personal NPCs available. Okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. So, at some point you want to make that change, you can do that. You may also set a bond. I'll let you choose one character that in the interim you will have established a bond with, so you don't start completely out of the gate with no bonds.
I have a feeling that Iron Lotus and I have probably been hanging out a bit. It seems to make sense, so I will take one with Iron Lotus.
Absolutely. Next we come to Song Da from the Bureau of Legends. And tell us about your entanglements, and if there's anything you want to change on those, or you're kind of thinking about them.
So my romantic entanglement, of course, is that I love Iron Lotus, although I do apparently get distracted by people with really cool masks at certain times, but let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
But my senior, Sister Lucian, and the rest of the Bureau believe they serve a dark force. That's pretty good. I mean, I was thinking I could find a different focus for it, but
okay.
I might. It's pretty good how it is.
Yeah, why just leave it. We will keep it like that, but we'll be flexible if you want to make some tweaks to it.
Maybe this time through we can focus a little bit more on the Bureau and their beliefs about dark forces that Iron Lotus might be involved in, or something.
Oh, we can certainly do that. Maybe we can make that a facet of the story here.
Ooh,
how has history been manipulated?
Interesting. And then my general is that Indigo Judgment, my clan leader, the leader of the Bureau of Legends, has told me to spy on my comrade, Blue Mountain Scholar.
You haven't done
feel
a
like-
great job of reporting in on that.
I'm not very good at this, which would make it strange, but I do sort of feel like that should progress somehow.
Okay, why don't you mark that? And I mean, last time you had that discussion with Indigo Judgment, maybe what we'll do is to start, we'll have everybody have a chance to make a flashback to a scene of the in between before we kind of set up to our mysteries.
But yeah,
and-
it's just, I don't know. I feel like I did a lot of that last time, a lot of like dancing around the not knowing, and maybe it should progress to the next step in the story
Ooh,
somehow.
interesting. I like that. And when you met Indigo Judgment, he has some weird questions of you about if you heard anything about vanishing members of the wuxia, to kind of pass that on to him if you'd heard anything, which seemed to connect, of course, to Iron Lotus. So we don't know that you don't know that Iron Lotus is missing in this. In any case,
so much that I don't know,
and yet you're the historian. And it looks like you've got 3 XP. Tyler, it looks like
yep.
you have 1 XP, right? So you must have just gotten advanced recently. Oh yeah, you got that trap thing that you set up. Okay. Sherry, let's come to you with Blue Mountain Scholar / a Lost Song Janai. You are muted.
I am muted and named poorly.
Okay.
So let me get this right here. So Blue Mountain Scholar. It's so long when I do this all. Scholar, Lost Song Tonight. So I was thinking of changing my romantic
Ooh.
thing to, if anything, Sancta and Iron Lotus have shown me that romance is a foolish endeavor. But so why am I pining over a man whose name I don't even know?
Oh, I like that.
Do you like that?
Okay.
I
Okay.
thought it's not exactly a complication so much as it is an ironic set. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Like, and of course, I'm sure that as soon as their fortunes switch, then mine will too, and it'll be terrible for me.
I think we could generate some inner conflict out of that. So.
I think we can.
And what about your general?
Still, I want to protect Baoshi, who is pure and wondrous. And so, but many gifted Zhao Hu. I don't know how much he's going to be in the thing. Who else can I? Let's see here.
Let's take a look at the NPCs.
Yeah.
So on the NPC tab, that has our existing sort of NPCs that have been around.
Oh, can I just say that he does seem to make himself a bit of a fool around the very pretty butterfly boy. So does that make any sense? Yes.
Around Songbird Yun.
Yeah.
So you're worried about
Yes.
that
Songbird,
Baoshi has been taken in by the charms and wiles of Songbird Yun.
Yes.
Okay. That seems like a fair thing.
I think I can cause some discommodation.
Yes. And who do you want to take a bond with? You have managed to mute yourself again.
It's like a superpower. So I apologize. I think Baoshi, because he checked in, made sure I was doing okay last time.
Absolutely. And let me hop back to Songda briefly. Who do you want to take a bond with?
I think Blue Mountain Scholar.
Okay. He was very, very complimentary of you last time,
I mean, he's a nice guy.
not using you at all. And then last but not least, we come to Iron Lotus, who is secretly Golden Peony.
Yeah, so I am the unorthodox in masculine disguise, but basically, Golden Peony is trying to find out what happened to their twin, Iron Lotus, who disappeared under mysterious circumstances,
Mm-hmm.
and who also basically their whole family was involved. Their mother was also a victim of the conspiracy. Yeah, and in terms of entanglements, I have my romantic one. Songda and I have growing feelings for each other, but he thinks I'm my brother. I recently discovered that Rising Phoenix has always had feelings for my true self. And my general
Oh, boy,
is
you stomped on Songda's heart last time.
I was trying to protect him. I came very close to telling the truth, which is a bad idea because it could be dangerous for him to know, and he might get involved with the conspiracy. I'm just protecting him.
He's a scholar. He'll never let go of it.
Yeah, exactly. I have to make sure that nothing bad happens to him. So, yeah. And my general is Ninth Raven suspects I'm not who I say I am and threatens to tell my friend Bao Shi, who will not understand why I've deceived him. I'm okay with where my entanglements are. I've always had fun making fun of, educating Ninth Raven. So, teaching him how to be a better detective. So
he's still still something's wrong.
I also think that that Blue Mountain Scholar has been like leaving random plates of desserts like in front of me, trying to get me to like slip up somehow.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Who do you want to take a bond with?
Yeah, I think I've actually been spending a lot of time with Bao Shi. I think we've been solving smaller mysteries, attending to like people come by the office to ask for our help. So I think we've been working closely together. So I added a bond with Bao Shi.
So we take up a couple of months after the tournament, and in the mountainside city that you live in, things have kind of changed. The Golden Pilgrim Society that had been in charge of the tournament, after what occurred and certain revelations and so on, essentially their chief is forced to step down. The groups divided, and their influence has waned here in the city. So there are other orders that have kind of been rising up and things, and there's been another change that I'm going to come to, in particular the setup. One of the things that has happened over the last couple of months is that get these names right because I have it written down. The big wuxia umbrella organization, the Verdant Sword Alliance. I've mentioned before that there was a bigger organization that the group that had been destroyed, the Greenleaf Society, they were part of that. Master Sun, his organization is sort of part of that. They have not had as strong a presence here in the city. They used to, and they have an estate that is up a little ways away, on sort of the cliffside, mountainside above the town. It is called the House of Endless Leaves. Very famous estate. But it had, like, people from the Verdant Sword Alliance have and not too long after the tournament, returned and have been restoring and repairing the estate. And it's very clear that there's going to be a big gathering of the Verdant Sword Alliance. And this has kind of been an unusual change, and people are kind of interested about, what's going to happen, given the power that they can kind of throw around, given what happened with Golden Pilgrim, with Master's son, since word has leaked out about his perfidy, his villainy. So that's all kind of going on in the background. But I'd like to get a chance to maybe do have each of you call a scene, flashback, something that has happened in the interim. And let's go that same order. Tyler, Bao-Shi, what's a thing that we see? Is there an NPC you want to interact with? Is there a crime that you've solved? What do you think we've seen?
I did settle on my romantic, by
Oh.
the way. I cannot choose between Captain Lin and Songbird Young. Just sort of an involved one, I believe. Well, let's see.
I like that also that implies a little bit in there that Magistrate Dalan has given at least their grudging approval and has stopped poking about you when Guard Captain Lin is there.
Maybe I've finally proven myself to be a bit useful and she's laid off a touch.
Yeah, or perhaps she just would admit that she was completely wrong about the mystery last time, and this is her way of avoiding admitting that.
That's perfect. I wouldn't mind actually, so to set this up, maybe a scene with Songbird Young.
Okay. He has, following the tournament, stayed around. And unusually, that the object of his ire, Cheng Rogang, has also remained in the city. And you suspect that he is still watching her, but he has set himself up. He has some money, and he has set himself up a house. He has brought in orchids and other beautiful plants and things that he takes care of, and he has built a chamber just for his butterflies.
Oh, very nice.
And so he will invite you over once the household has been properly prepared.
And I will arrive, and I tend to dress very, tidy, and appearance is important for me. So I'm dressed well as I arrive, and it seems that you have done a marvelous job creating such a lovely environment for your home.
The builders here are perhaps a little clumsy, but I was able to explain what I needed in well enough terms to have this provided. The trick was getting the right silk to provide the windows here, and to get the light to come in just right. But please come in.
Thank you. No one can doubt your exquisite tastes.
I have to compliment you and your colleagues, but you especially, for your solving that murder.
Well, it is what we do, and I knew all along that you could not have been involved in such a heinous act.
I appreciate you perhaps downplaying my involvement with the late Yang Mofang.
Well, it did not seem that was important to convey.
certainly of no importance to the problem as a whole. I appreciate that. But tell me, what mysteries, what crimes, what cases are you involved with at the present moment, great detective?
Oh, well, my dear friend Iron Lotus and I have traveled a bit around the area, mostly truly trivial things that, with only the smallest amount of investigation, the two of us were able to deduce nearly immediately what the problem was.
Excellent. So you seem to have dispatched your cases with ease. Do you find yourself with more time on your hands?
Well, nothing that has truly challenged us of late, I will say that.
Then perhaps you could assist me.
Oh, however I possibly can assist you, I'd be glad to.
We have spoken previously of my issues with Cheng Rogang, and
Yes.
you were generous enough to provide me insight about her presence at the tournament. And I told you that that she killed my relation.
Yes, most unfortunate.
She has remained here in the city, and I am suspicious as to why. I fear that she has some nefarious plot.
I had also taken note that she had stayed in the area and had some concerns myself.
Then perhaps you could, as a favor to me, look into that matter.
Well, I'd be happy to do so, and uh, come back and perhaps discuss with you more about it.
That would be a pleasure and a joy. Even if you find nothing, you coming to visit would certainly brighten my day.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you to say.
I'm going to cut from that scene. Song Da.
Hello.
So, do you have a scene you want to call, or shall we have that meeting between you and Sister Lushan?
I was sort of thinking maybe another meeting with Indigo Judgment. I sort of see it starting out as like yet another report of, well, no, Blue Mountain Scholar seems perfectly nice. He's a wonderful drinking companion. His niece is wonderful company when she's around. He just seems like a normal guy. I don't understand what I'm supposed to be looking for.
Let us set that aside for a moment, Song Da.
But
Just for a moment, we will come back to that in time.
Oh,
I
all
have
right.
a question here. There's a section of your history, what you saw at the tournament and the events that transpired. There is a section here that I found a little vague.
I must have smudged the writing. Perhaps I could interpret it for you.
Oh, I'm sure it is. In your own words, perhaps you could give me a sense of exactly what happened when you were visiting the house of Blue Mountain Sentinel. And then there was some sort of attack outside with these assassins, but something seems to have happened with Iron Lotus. That there were multiple Iron Lotuses. Maybe you.
Well, there was no. It wasn't multiple Iron Lotuses. Obviously, it was. I mean, it was multiple me's. There's very many me's being stabbed and beaten and kicked to the ground. It was, I don't know how to describe it, but it was existentially uncomfortable at the very least.
So how did a goodly number of people dressed as yourself come to be present in that situation?
Apparently, Iron Lotus had worked out a plan with them beforehand, including matching costuming, line readings, and light bits of group choreography, not strictly laid out, but pieces that can be sort of improved and chained together to create a general vibe.
It's interesting. I have here a report on Iron Lotus from a few years ago. Does not credit him with quite that level of imagination or dramatic flair. That seems very unusual.
He claimed to have been moved by personal passions.
What does that mean?
What?
What does that mean, historian?
Well, I'm just telling you what he said.
And how do you interpret that?
He was very concerned about the outcome of the attack and the safety of the people involved.
And do you reciprocate Iron Lotus's feelings? Inner conflict.
I feel like I need to consult some internal dice. Hold on. Oh, son of a... Sorry, my earphones are also choosing now to die, which is super fun. Oh, I've all my stats available to me. All the bad choices just laid out there. Oh, let's try some caution and focus. I mean, ideally, but we'll see.
Let's see.
All right, you okay? Do the button. Now do the thing. Roll. It's a 9.
So you have a choice. Well, first thing is you get to mark XP because you rolled inner conflict, so that's great.
Oh, yay for me!
And then a second thing is you get to choose whether you want to mark Earth and keep your cool here, or you want to visibly withdraw yourself for the presence of the head of your order.
I think his cheeks flush, but his eyes go hard, and you see his spine straighten a little bit as Indigo Judgment is questioning his professional ability to be an impartial historian. As he snaps out, "Of course not. Everything involved in the tournament and anybody around it was simply a matter of fact finding. I have to be involved in every aspect of what's going on to be able to write down all of the facts, but why would I involve my personal life in any of this?"
Well, I hope you can maintain that objectivity. I know that you have been warned about Iron Lotus in the past, and I hope you will take those concerns which seem to me to have been readily confirmed by what occurred.
There is nothing between Iron and Lotus and me for you to be concerned about.
Well, that's good, but I remain concerned that Iron Lotus is a danger to you. He may not be what he appears to be.
I have seen recently that he's quite skilled at changing his faces when it suits him.
Well, I look forward to your next report.
Yes, of course. Sir.
On both Lotus and Blue Mountain.
Oh, all right. About Blue Mountain, are you really sure? Of course, you look very yes. And I'll just yeah, till the next time when I report on both of them, both I Lotus and Blue Mountain.
Yes.
You and me reporting.
That is what I have said.
I'm
and
excited.
Your progress within the order is dependent upon the results.
Well, then I should get to that. The reporting, both the reports between you and me.
Let's cut to Blue Mountain Scholar or Lost Songs Jedi. Where do we find you? What is it that we want to see of your life here?
Oh, I think probably Lost Song Janai, simply because she's the one that's in the city right now. Clearly, Blue Mountain Scholar has traveled out, and he's left his niece to take care of the home. And I think that is what you see, in fact, is her sort of terrifically competently taking care of every aspect of his business on that side, taking essentially the inquiries, taking the mail, answering those, essentially sending out other letters, filing things away in this sort of set of boxes and stuff that he keeps, and resetting the traps on the house. Clearly there's a large and complicated set. It would be fairly deadly to attempt to break into the house. And then there's that sort of thing of when she has to go outside, and she clearly has an appointment herself, and she sort of dresses herself, and she is lovely, and she's formally dressed, and she brings out a folio, clearly with her poetry in it. And she sort of steps outside just as her uncle, Blue Mountain Sentinel, comes to the gate, and he escorts her out onto the street. She says, "Uncle, thank you for coming to escort me to the reading."
Yes, it's only right and proper, given that your uncle is not around to carry out such important duties for a young lady such as yourself.
Because he is busy as always with matters that take him all over. He did send a letter, though, inquiring how matters are going with Chief Yoing.
With who?
With the Chief Owen, essentially the murderer.
I've spoken to Ouyang. He has voluntarily accepted an imperial position on the far northern borderlands. I say voluntarily, but I suspect that the voluntarily may be a little questionable in this. The Golden Pilgrims have been a force for stability in the city, but they've also been a force, as you know, for a certain amount of corruption. So it is 6 of one and another half dozen of the other.
She sort of stops and says, I think it is one of the reasons why my uncle left town is so that he did not have to think on that too very hard.
I wanted to take the opportunity as we walked to this reading to perhaps extend an offer to you.
She sort of stops and says, I have many duties in the household. Not a scholar, but if I can assist.
I was impressed with your performance during the tournament, with your assistance to the Baoshi and the scholar Song Da, that you seem to provide helpful aid and counsel to them in that, in addition to your uncle's wit and wisdom.
That is kind of you to say.
I fear that your uncle has sort of left you on your own a bit. And I was thinking that perhaps if you wanted to study and maybe take a more active role in investigations like that, I could certainly, I would invite you to join my household in such a position.
She kind of stops and says, And she goes, that's very generous. And she goes, but the first thing I thought it was Baoshi. If I have any sort of official capacity, he will be so troublesome.
Well, there is that. I hope you will consider it. My wife has a nephew who is coming to join in some of the household affairs and things like that. I think it would be lovely if you could perhaps meet him.
Certainly.
Good. I'll speak to my wife and we'll have it all arranged.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I'll send word to your parents as well, just to keep them informed.
Sure, they will be grateful.
And what kind of poetry reading is it, Blue Mountain Scholar? Just so we can kind of finish out the scene.
Yes, as Last Song Tonight. I think that she reads her poetry, which is very, very particular. It's typically essentially like a domestic scene. And then it's set in contrast to something that occurs out in nature. So essentially there's usually a thing of where the domestic scene is comfortable and warm, and you hope that it will last for a long time, and then out in the wild, this terrible death befalls something, or vice versa, where things are fraught, and it's just those sort of very carefully laid with like very careful symbolism of all the nature, all the matter of the household. That's sort of a political commentary.
And it's a beautiful reading in a lovely place, only broken by the occasional whoops and hollers from the back of the room, from Untamed Zhizong, who's clearly in her cups, who has attended just to cheer you on. More with the peaches. I like the stuff with the peaches.
I do not break.
Okay. Iron Lotus. What's a scene for you in the time that has passed?
Yeah, I actually think we see Golden Peony instead. And I think she's spending time with Rising Phoenix. I think Golden Peony felt a little guilty about what happened to Rising Phoenix. I think maybe Golden
And you
Peony
weren't
blames
there,
themselves.
but then they accused me of being the killer. Like,
and this is like
it was
the
terrible,
100th time
but
I've
it
heard
was
the
like the
story.
coolest thing that ever happened to me at the same time.
Yes, yes, absolutely. It was, I mean, I don't know about you being in danger and being blamed for murder is cool, but I
But I
am.
knew it would be fine. Your brother was there, and Bao Shi was there, and they're really smart.
They are very, very smart indeed. My brother um has no other equal, and Bao Shi is a
He does. I used
master.
to not like your brother.
Oh,
I gotta admit it. I used to not like your brother. But the last couple of years, he's a mellowed.
mellowed. Yes, yes. That does tend to happen with age. Yes.
You think he's old? Yeah, he seems kind of young to me.
I mean, well, we're twins. I mean, I
Oh, I was.
Rising Phoenix.
No,
Are
so
you
then
saying
he's in
I'm too old
the
for
bloom
you?
of his youth, like you are.
Oh, wow. And then like I cover my mouth with a sleeve. That is very kind of you to say. Perhaps my bloom pales in comparison to yours.
I don't think that's right. I think, in fact, the opposite is true.
No, you are vibrant and strong and determined, and you are truthful in a way that I could never quite be.
And she blushes in that full bloom of blush there. And I wish I could speak as well as you do, Peony. I just can't.
Oh, these are just words, but I believe actions are far more important.
True, yeah. Like goes right past her.
I think there's a moment where Golden Peony like tries to sit closer, and then it doesn't register. And Golden Peony just withdraws. Oh, are these sweets? These look good.
Oh yes, they are. I hope you'll try some.
Of course. I love sweets. I say as I open one and I'm trying to be like coy about it, hoping she's paying attention.
And I think that she kind of is still trying to figure out. She's just so pleased that you're present because you haven't been around, Golden Peony.
Bao Shi and I have been very busy. I mean, Iron Lotus and Bao Shi have been very busy. So,
and what is the cover story that you have concocted for where you have been during all these absences?
oh, I think I have to go with the traditional, like Asian drama thing of like I have a sickness that comes and goes unpredictably, right? And so,
if there's medicine you need, or a poultice, or a potion, or something, I'll climb to the top of the mountain and I'll gather that flower and I'll bring it down.
oh, I'm sure that would be quite the vision to see you climb a mountain for me in such a manner. But no, I unfortunately, this is just a matter of blood and flesh not being quite as strong as yours, Rising Phoenix. There's nothing to be done for it.
Oh no, I'm sure there's something to be done, and I will think on this.
Oh no.
Don't worry, I've got this.
I insist. And then like I reach over and I'm like, perhaps your presence would be more than enough.
Okay.
Good. No mountains in the meantime. Promise me?
No mountains.
Very good.
Let's take our first break. We'll take 10 and then we'll come back. and we'll set the stage for what is actually happening. So you will hear, after we've kind of gotten reports about the arrival of the Verdant Sword Alliance people, the cleanup that's been happening over the last few weeks, you will start to hear rumblings that it's something larger and more involved, as there is that first initial inflow of wuxia from different orders and things arriving, and taking up essentially rooms at the various inns, but also the arrival of clearly senior people from Verdant Sword Alliance arriving and heading up, and servants being hired to finish the preparations. And the actual location, the House of Endless Leaves, is, I've kind of got a version of it back up behind me, is a sprawling kind of fortress estate that's on the mountainside. There's a path that leads up through the woods up to the estate, and there are, you can see during the day, carts and travelers going up and taking things up there, and that is going on, and things are happening. So let me ask a couple of questions here. Let's do some setup questions. Bao Shi, what is it like? What has been your connection, or like what relation or thing have you had to the Verdant Sword Alliance, this larger group? Like, have you been involved with them? Have you ignored them? What do you think that is? You are muted.
I went, let's see. I feel like I'm probably, like everything, a little curious about them, and I like to know a bit of everything. But I don't think they've ever hired me for anything. So it's mostly been that I will go and listen to rumors, or will kind of quiz when people are coming back and forth, just because I'm nosy.
Yeah, there's sort of that a little bit of distance about that, but keeping your ears open, because, and especially now, they're the most interesting thing that's happening. The one thing you will hear is that the leader of the alliance, Master Fawn, is due here in the next day or two, and that there's something big going on within sort of the core group of the alliance. So that is a big thing that is happening. Let's go to Blue Mountain Scholar or Lost Song Janai. Either one. How have you crossed or come to be at odds with Master Fawn in one of your identities?
I think that the Blue Mountain sect is one of the people, or essentially groups, that were part of the Green Leaf Society and whatever came before it, and those sorts of things. And when the Verdant Sword kind of came around, there was a certain amount of like looking for legitimacy from some of the other groups. And Blue Mountain Scholar abstained from speaking for anyone for it. So I would say that there's a certain amount of, how should we say, one would say neutrality, but there's actually a certain amount of hostility from the Verdant Sword from some factions, though Master Fawn has never been hostile, or at least shown any hostility.
And certainly Blue Mountain Sentinel would have been a little more obsequious about these things as opposed to Blue Mountain Scholar. And so
Exactly.
kind of caught in that trap a little bit there. Yeah, that has created a set of tensions over time. It mostly applies to the Blue Mountain sect and Loshong Shanai only distantly.
Mhm.
But what you have heard, by the time a couple of days have passed, all of you have heard, you will hear that Master Fawn is here, along with a big entourage, senior people from various, associated sects and the main sect, is here to give it all up. She is here apparently to wash her hands of the Wulin world. So tell me, Songda, you are a scholar. You keep your ears to the ground about things. What is a rumor? You don't know the truth. You have no idea right now, but what have you heard as a rumor of why Master Fawn is doing this? What do you think, Songda?
I think there's stories that she met with something, a spirit out in say out in the sort of deepest parts of the mountains, that warned her that great tragedy would come if she didn't step down by a certain time.
Yeah, that's certainly a popular reading on it. It has that sort of supernatural hook that draws people in because her leaving is so inexplicable to many people. Not only that it's weird, but it seems like she's really turning her back on the order in a way that is turning her back on family and duty in some ways. It seems very odd. Now, here's a question. My last question is for Iron Lotus or Golden Peony, however you wish to answer this. That estate, the House of Endless Leaves, has lain empty for about 10 years, since around the time of that the Greenleaf Society and that destruction and so on. This place has been left kind of abandoned, but you have, in that abandonment time, you have been in there. So, like, what happened? And like, why did you go in there?
Yeah, I think there's like a brief moment, very dramatic cut where the camera's by the ground. Yeah, I think Golden Peony, while searching for their brother, came here. There were clues that led here, but it was like a fruitless search. They weren't able to find anything, but at the time there were these very strange writings almost all over the place, right? On the walls, in weird places that you cannot access normally. It really looked like it was written by someone or someone's caught in a fit of panic or faith, one of those things, but I could never decipher them. They never really made any sense.
Excellent. Now, did you come in here alone?
Ooh, I think I came in with the Broken Circle.
Okay.
Right? So everyone who's lost someone under mysterious circumstances. So there were several of us that investigated.
So to all of them, it still feels strange. They found nothing, and yet there's some hint of something beyond that. But we cut to the present day to Bao Shi and Iron Lotus in our usual Holmes and Watson kind of seated and relaxing when there is a knock, and the house servant will come up and will say, there is a agent of the Verdant Sword Alliance who is here, who wishes to speak with you.
Oh, indeed. I'll look over it. Well, it was about time. I was expecting that we would be invited to participate. It only makes sense. Should I leaning look?
Yes, I think the lean and the chin just a little, just
Oh.
perfect, master.
You may show them in.
And he will see this lovely young woman come in, and she will look around, and she looks around, and she looks immediately disappointed. And then she wipes that off her face, and she will say, Master Bao Shi?
Yes. How can I help you?
And you are Iron Lotus?
That is correct. But we seem to be at a disadvantage. We do not know you.
My name is Xiao Chun. I am the daughter of Master Fan.
Oh, indeed.
You'll beg my pardon, if I may inquire. Is not Song Da present with you?
The little scholar right here. Well, no, not at the moment.
Just I'd heard his name associated with yours, and I
Dear
had
friend.
hoped to. Oh, good. Well, there is a ceremony to be held soon at the House of Endless Leaves, and I came personally to extend an invitation to you two, and as well. If you encounter your friend Song Da, it'd be appreciated if you would bring him along as well.
Of course. What sort of fate is this?
It is a ceremonial gathering my mother has called for important persons in the region, people of scholarship and acumen, to bear witness to this important ceremony for the Verdant Sword Alliance. And your names have been spoken with some measure of glory. I know that there are some questions that might be put to you by my mother or some others about the precise nature of what occurred at the tournament a few months ago. But that is secondary to our simply wanting your presence at the ceremony. You will arrive, and it will be a pageant that will last a few days. So you can expect to stay, rooms, amenities to be provided for you on the estate.
I'll look over towards Iron Lotus and kind of give this sounds great look. And I think we would very much enjoy that. We'll be happy to attend. And I'm sure we can find Songda around somewhere.
That would be, she leans in with a certain amount of urgency. It would be really excellent if you could bring Songda as well.
Yes,
We'll promise
yes.
it. I will seek out Songda shortly after.
Oh, excellent. Thank you, Master Lotus. Do you not remember me?
Oh, and then, oh gosh, this happens a lot. I think I'm going to try to lie and be like, of course, I was hoping that you would bring it up first, as is polite.
Let's have you roll hearts and minds.
Okay. Deserved. This is also what I do in real life. So.
Oh, I know this. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna double check if I have. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to say that this is with, I'm trying to be very sneaky about this. Yeah, I'm going to say water. So
All right.
+2.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see how it goes. Okay. What a roll. I have 5 total with the +2, I have to say.
So there is that moment which says, it was at the village of the crossing paths when you were there as a bodyguard to Master Sin.
Of course. I
You see her nod, and you know in your heart that she's put a verbal trap out there for you,
yeah.
and you've fallen for it. She goes, I was younger. I must have overlooked me in that at the time. Well, thank you. I look forward to seeing both of you and Master Song at the estate.
Absolutely. My master and I will be most pleased to be there. And I'm sure that it would be impossible for me to forget you from this point onwards. Maybe create more brilliant memories together.
One can only hope. I take my leave.
Good day to you. Yes, yes.
Blue Mountain Scholar. Or Lost Songs Unite. There is a knock, that kind of knock of someone who clearly knows their way. You know, they knock not with any formality, but with a nonchalance on your door.
All right. I will go and open the door then.
And you will see this man standing there, and he kind of Scholarin?
He is out currently, but I am his niece.
Oh, you must be Janai.
Yes.
Ah.
And she goes, and you are, sir?
They call me Silver Nightfall.
Oh, she goes, oh, I know who you are. Why don't you come in?
Oh,
She goes,
well, that's good.
He left some wine for you.
Well, now that is the Blue Mountain Scholar that I know very well.
That's correct. Because he
will
always
he be
thinks of
back?
his
Will he be
friends.
back soon?
I doubt before nightfall.
Oh, I see what you did there. Oh. That's very good. Yes, just a little more wine would be good.
All right. So, can I take a message?
Well, I've come. It's been some years since I've spoken with Blue Mountain Scholar, as the Alliance has not been headquartered here. But there's some stuff going down at House of Endless Leaves. And it would be very welcome to me and to some others if Blue Mountain Scholar were to attend. And yourself, too.
Well, thank you. That is very kind. When my uncle travels away from the city, I often do accompany him. Is there a message you would like me to leave him? Other than that you have invited him?
Tell him that I don't think this is going to go well. And tell him whatever his feelings, he needs to be there. And speak to Master Fawn, despite everything that happened. And I think like this is the first time you've actually heard like a connection between him and Master Fawn.
Yes, and I do think that she has that look of like she does a thing where she hears that, then he says the first sentence, then he says the next sentence, and she starts to go, I will remember those words exactly when I relay them.
Matter is the heart, young lady. When you find someone that you love, don't let them go. Stick with them.
Very well. She goes, I didn't know.
I wouldn't surprise me. I don't think it's something he would wish to speak of, especially not to such a delicate flower as yourself.
Indeed. I have had the impression that is how he looks upon me. And she sort of laughs.
He says, and he laughed and he goes, "You are no delicate flower. Your name has come to me in connection with what went down here at the tournament. I don't think you shrunk from anything from what I've heard."
I was only peripherally involved. So there you go.
That's not what, and then he stops. He goes, "Well, I will see you hopefully at the estate.
I am sure that I will see you. I will certainly look for you.
If the Mountain Scholar wishes, I will have a litter sent for him."
And she sort of stops and she goes, I don't know that he would like it, but his arthritis, it might be good.
Expect it early tomorrow then.
Thank you.
Song Da. You are called sort of in a rush by Sister Lushan.
All right. Where does she want me to meet her?
She tells you this inn, and there's a note, and it says you must travel there with all haste.
All right. Perhaps there is some unexpected history unfolding.
And that's the thing. You rush to there from the headquarters, and Sister Lushan is there. And the second that you arrive, she's already on the move. She says,
Yeah,
I need
got
your assistance.
Note?
Yes, come. I need your assistance.
But where are we going?
We are headed back to the city that you know so well. Things have changed there in the wake of Chief Ouyang's passing. And we have only just had word that there is to be a great gathering of the Verdant Sword Alliance. And quite possibly that there is to be a change in the Wulin world.
Did you realize that you needed my expertise, that you couldn't handle this one alone like last time?
No, I know that your 3 investigative friends will be there as well, and I want you to run interference.
So you just want me for my connections and people that I know.
And she looks at you, she goes, well, yes, obviously.
Obviously, yes. I can. What interference for what?
In case something needs to be looked at with some discretion, I may ask you to keep them occupied while I observe.
Well, but surely they're part of what we're meant to observe as members of the Wulin world themselves.
There are times when things need to be observed on their own without interference from the outside.
What is it that's happening in the city?
We are not entirely sure, but it appears that The leader of the Verdant Sword Alliance is about to abandon her post without naming a successor.
Well, that's unexpected, but the Verdant Alliance, I mean, they haven't been anything in years. Does that really matter?
They have been. Behind the scenes, outside of here, they have been the single most important Wulin force moving. And now, with the fall of Master Sun, there's a huge void in terms of who comes next. Chief Ouyang, he and the Golden Pilgrims were positioned to take a stronger role within the Verdant Sword Alliance, but now they are gone.
Sun and Ouyang both were lined up in the leadership for the Verdant.
Sun was lined up. Ouyang was to become joined to the Alliance at the Winter Festival this year. Would have changed his fortunes and changed the fortunes of the Golden Pilgrim, but that isn't going to happen now.
Yes, it does make recent circumstances seem much more unfortunate.
You remember the young man with the mask?
Yes, vaguely. I mean, of course, sure, why not? I mean, I think I saw him.
So that's a yes?
Yes, sure.
He was with a group called the Sons of Wreaths. And as you may know, he was tied to a fallen wuxia hero called Cold Panther.
Yes, his
Cold
lost
Panther
master
was part of the Tangled Wreath Society, another branch that served under the Verdant Sword Alliance that has diminished in recent years, especially with the split off of this splinter faction of the Sons of Wreaths. All of these things tie together. It makes me and our master suspicious that there is something deeper afoot here.
So is there anything in particular I should be on the lookout for?
No, not that I know yet. Position yourself as you would to observe and report in on Blue Mountain Scholar and Iron Lotus. And we will take it from there. And she stops. She goes, I am aware of the orders that you've been given.
I am also aware of the orders that I've been given. I was there.
Then I don't think there'll be any problem if we are all on the same scroll.
Exactly. How could there be any problems? We all understand each other perfectly.
And she will lightfoot with the sense that you will follow and keep up with her.
Stupid. Why would you say that? Oh.
Can I have you roll inner conflict? I think it is hitting on one of your entanglements there a little bit. Plus you get to mark XP.
Which is always exciting.
Always.
I think I could go with fire.
Okay.
Speed and passion. I'm already logged into this website. Remember my name for more than 5 minutes. That's an 11.
You keep it together. Like you shake that off. You're still beating yourself up a little, but then you follow. Perhaps a little more resolute, right?
Yeah, give a leap up and go dancing across rooftops after her.
You know, we should do a thing where people can like advance their things like in Urban Shadows. so that like you could do that with, and if you get a 12 plus on inner conflict, you like get a +1 forward, or you declare an element or something. That'd be too easy though. But then again, I don't think anyone would ever roll a 12 plus on inner conflict. I don't think that's ever happened. Let's come back and let's check in with each of you on what you want to do in preparation or before you go to this event. And then we can kind of draw together our PCs into a general cross meeting. Baoshi, I wish to start with you.
All righty. I think that kind of shortly after our visitor, I would have looked at Iron Lotus to have said, you do think you can find Song Da, don't you? The two of you were fairly friendly, weren't you?
Friendly, yes. Cut to that moment on the rooftop. Yada yada yada. Back to this moment. I assure you, Master, I will search for Songda and make sure that the message is received. What will you be doing, Master, in preparation?
I was thinking of perhaps a little bit better suit, a little freshening up of the wardrobe. And I thought I'd pick up a few things for you. Is there anything you would like? Something that would make a good, strong impression, but serious.
Of course. We do need to have you dress as appropriate to your experience and reputation, especially after all the brilliance work you've been doing, Master. Yes, I would be most honored if you could find something of a that you would believe would suit me well.
I know that you like practical, and I shall manage that, my dear friend.
Yes, you know me better than anyone else, Master Baoshi.
And I do think I will go off and get a spiffy new outfit and something nice for Lotus as well. He needs to represent as well. And get myself probably even a nice new hat.
I think you can excellently outfit yourself. Spend a little bit of that money. You will pick up that there are a lot of people from town, senior people and stuff, that are being invited to this gathering, and no one is entirely certain about the nature of things here.
Would I happen to run across any of the people that look like they may be going up there? I may make a point to try and go towards some of the boarding houses and such.
That feels like you are studying.
I am, I think.
What do you want to roll that with?
Let's see here. Let's I can't do that. Probably with water, I believe. So rolling with water. That's a 9.
So you've got one hold. We don't have a mystery yet, so there's no clue setups. But you can ask a question, you can make a declaration, or you can judge someone's scale.
Okay. I just don't know enough yet to do a declare, I don't think.
Exactly. We're still in the early days.
Yeah. So I think I will what's the general mood of the people that I'm seeing there? Is it excitement? Are they afraid? Is there ambition? What is the kind of read I get from these folks?
There's a real uncertainty because some big players locally in the Wulin world have fallen in the last few months. There's a real question about whether maybe the society, the alliance is planning on like imposing some kind of new order, or there are changes to be made in the area. There's definitely some nervousness amongst the criminal underworld about because the Shah, the Wulin are figures of justice, and if they're turning their attention back to this area, that could be bad for some people. But mostly, mostly the Shah don't worry about like petty criminals or thieves or things like that. They tend to deal with injustice and that kind of thing, and exploitations. But that seems to be the general. But a degree of uncertainty about what's coming, and then a few older people. They mention the Green Leaves Society, and that Master Sun. There were rumors that we heard, unofficial things, people saying that he was involved with the death of the master of PbtA so long ago, and then there were some questions, maybe that this whole thing with Cold Panther and those accusations and things that happened. Maybe what happened to Chief O'Young was somebody did that. Maybe that was a setup. That's what some of the more older and paranoid people are saying. And if that's true, maybe it was Master Fawn pulling the strings behind the scenes.
Interesting. Okay.
Does that seem fair?
Yeah, I think so. Neat. All right, thank you.
Okay. Iron Lotus, what are you doing?
Yeah, I do think I seek out Songda to make sure that he gets a message. So yeah.
What do you think is this the usual haunt for Songda, that you will find him maybe a little bit out of breath of having made that journey so quickly, but there? What do you think?
Oh, should I answer that question? Yeah. I think a usual haunt. Yeah, I think there's probably an inn where we usually hang out. I think Songda and I have been like meeting each other regularly to like play games of chance and things like that while I wistfully look at him from behind the cards and things like that.
So you arrive in the city. Songda, Sister Lushan says that she will see to the invitations, and she will speak with you tomorrow. Kind of leaves you off, and when you go into this inn, maybe to finally sit down, catch your breath, and have some tea, you will see Iron Lotus sitting there, clearly waiting for you.
Oh, Lotus, hi.
Hello. Are you seem out of breath? Is something the matter?
No, I've just been, well, traveling, running, really high speed.
Hey, I see. Is this a bad? I simply have a message to share. If this is not a good time, I can simply give you the message and go on.
Oh no, I have until the morning at least. I'm needed, of course, at the House of Endless Leaves.
Oh, I was here to invite you there. They were truly adamant that you would appear. None other than, oh my gosh, I haven't memorized names yet. Let me just quickly look. None other than
Names are the worst.
none other than Master Fawn herself asked for you to make sure that you would be there. It seems that truly something important to history will occur, and they need someone such as yourself, Songda, to record such events.
Oh yes, Sister Hushan mentioned that we. But wait, did you say that you mean me? Like me? Me?
Yes, they were. The daughter of Master Fawn looked disappointed when you were not there.
Patrick is frozen.
Oh no, I thought he was just really, really considering.
He
my
must be
words.
tired. Yeah, must be terrified. So
There is that long pause for super dramatic effect.
I know, incredibly dramatic. I was thinking that this was going to be a comfort or support role, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's have you do that. We can give him the results when.
Yeah. I just want to, beef up
Well,
that
yeah.
confidence, right?
What do you want to roll that
Oh,
with?
there we go. There's Patrick. Patrick is back.
Yes, hello. I'm sorry,
okay.
computers.
No, it's okay. I'm just rolling comfort and support for to make sure that my sincere compliments get across. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with my water. 13. Wow.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So here's how it works. They can clear a marked element, or they can give you a bond with them. Number one. And then we kind of the flip side, you also can clear an element yourself, ask them a question, or give them a bond with you. So Patrick, what would you like to clear an element, or would you like to give Iron Lotus a bond with you first?
I'll give Lotus a bond. I just have the one marked, and it's just Earth.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Not a problem. And then Iron Lotus, what would you like?
Yeah. I think I'm also going to give a bond, right? I think what this looks like is I touch your shoulder and I say, Songda, I'm truly glad that more people are recognizing you for your skill. And I hope that from here, your reputation only continues to grow.
Oh, of course, I should be the one behind the stories, but it is fun to be a part of things, isn't it?
It's true. It is indeed very, very fun. Think of all the grand historians hidden between the lines and hidden in the shadows of pages. Surely those who have a keen eye for history will know who you are.
I say I'm just looking forward to the sigil of the Bureau getting me some compliments and respect rather than into fights and arguments.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Songda. I wish it was easier for others to support and recognize you. I am here if you would like an ear from, and like Iron Lotus cannot bring himself to say the word friend, from someone like myself. Yes, I'm here to listen.
I thank you. And of course, if you ever had anything that you wanted to share with me, obviously you could, if you needed to. If there's anything you wanted to, I mean, of course, you know.
I do. I'm gonna roll into conflict.
Okay. Mark XP.
Like suddenly I feel like saying things I should not. So okay.
Oh right, all these scenes are just emotional chicken.
Truly we're playing Hearts of Wulin. If that's the case. Gosh, I think I'm trying to it's not my best stat, but I think I'm trying to focus Earth, just trying to stay steady, not get swept away by my feelings for you. And I rolled a 4. My gosh.
So why don't you mark that element? And I think as you look up, Iron Lotus, there's a flash of a figure going past the window. And for a moment, you're certain you saw your brother watching you.
I abruptly get up. No, and I sit down again. I'm sorry. I must have imagined it. It's
No,
impossible.
it's fine. I'm sorry. Of course, you don't have to share anything with me if you don't. It's not important enough to. I understand you have more important things to be looking after, and like I said, I have to get together with Sister Lucian because I have very important work to do. And I'm sure I'll see you sometime. Or not. It's fine. I'll just enjoy the rest of the tea.
Yeah. No. I think there's really a moment where Iron Lotus wants to stay, but I've been searching for my brother for so long. I'll be back, Songda. I'll return as soon as I wait for me. And I abruptly get up and leave.
And those precious seconds that you spent explaining yourself and stumbling over your words, when you get outside, you don't see any sign of him. Blue Mountain Scholar, your turn.
Yeah, I think the thing that you see is like the camera pans over and there's like one of those screens, and Boston Janai is sort of sitting on the other side. She's heard this conversation and rolled her eyes through the whole thing. You know, that kind of. And she has a box in front of her, and she's going through correspondence from her uncle, trying to find out anything.
It seems fair that you're there, given that you have Sword Will Travel. So I think that you were
exactly. I just happened to be there and have caught that conversation. Those two. Oh.
So what you're telling me is you want to do as your first roll here. You want to do a study roll?
Yes, I know. So I will bring disaster down upon myself.
And what would you like to roll study with?
Probably water.
Let's have you roll.
This is, I'm rolling 2d6 and adding 1, so it's certain to go super well. Oh my God, it did. I got a 12 on a study.
Wow.
Unprecedented.
Shocking. So you have 2 hold to ask
2.
questions or make declarations.
Ooh. Let's see here. I think.
Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. Now we got 12 plus things. So you got 3 hold.
That's crazy. All right. So I think first the declaration is that I do find a letter from my uncle for Master Fawn that clearly he had written and never delivered.
What does it say?
It is a set of he's clearly trying to warn her not to do this. And there's a thing that he says, I know that this is important. This would change your life, the way that you wish to prove to your family. But the forces that are in motion here will certainly destroy all that you love.
Okay. Yeah, and it's written before he left, before you had the whole incident with Master Sun months ago. So this letter is old.
Yeah. No, is it like, and I guess the thing is should we establish, is it old like a year old or a few months old, or is it old like 10 years ago old?
It's your declaration, so I'll let you set that. Do you
I
want to?
think let's say 10 years old.
Okay, so
Like,
something happened during that time with the Greenleaf Society, that he tried to get her to stop doing something, but didn't send a letter. So that's one. You've got two more hold.
I think what I'll ask is, do I remember her at all? Did I ever meet her? Because I would have been in my uncle's household at that time. So I'm literally trying to cast my thing back.
I think you remember a night when it was storming out, and we get that flashback to the rain pouring outside, and there was a pounding at the door, and your uncle got up and went, and you saw him go out, and and you saw him standing in the rain with this figure, and you saw this woman striking. She looks young, but she carries herself as older as your uncle's age, because it's very hard to find pictures of older Chinese actresses in wuxia things. Let me tell you that's really tough. You can get a few distinguished old men. Old women, no. But she had, like, there's a discussion, and there's that moment when, like, your uncle tried to kind of reach out, maybe try and comfort her, and she smacked his hand away, and you saw the two of them there, and they parted, and you're still not certain whether it's just the rain, how much was tears, how much was rain on their faces as the two of them left. Does that seem fair?
It's a lovely scene. Fair? No, but yes.
One more hold.
Let's see here. Give me, let's see. So I'm in the right box of correspondence and those sorts of things. Who else has he written letters to in this same time frame?
Someone, a letter here that would surprise you, I expect.
Yes.
I think that you will find a letter written to him that's clearly a reply to correspondence that is buried down deep, and it is from PbtA, the late lamented murdered master of the Greenleaf Society.
What does it say?
Pardon?
And what does it say? This letter?
They're clearly referring to some conversation about some things being looked into, that he doesn't have answers. But at the last sentence is what grabs your attention. He says, at some point, the puzzle swords will come to the house of endless leaves, and it will all come crashing down.
That's pretty good. All right.
Thank you for damning that with faint praise.
No, I mean, that's pretty good because I asked for 2 names and he gave me 1, and I think I will take it.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
You can,
Okay.
I'll actually type that in the chat. So
Yeah. See, no, pretty good is very context. Very context.
But the context is often poor.
It depends. If someone says, "Oh, that's pretty good," but if they say, "Oh no, that's pretty good," thank you.
I still hear it as condescension, right? Like. Anyway, I'm not gonna. Matthew and I have been at this for years. So. I've joked that it's part of our prenup.
yeah, it's our 25th year, so we can be that way. We keep doing the things. This last few months have been a lot of, you know what we should do? And I go, this is what we should do. And she was like, exactly.
Married 25 years and it's
Lot
paying
of-
off.
lot of mental gymnastics. Let's bring everybody together. Does that seem fair? Unless you have a scene that you want to call before we do that song, Da.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. And actually, let's take a quick 5, and then we'll kind of we'll get you together. We'll move into the position. We'll kind of get things set up, and we'll get to our cliffhanger. So, I like to imagine that Iron Lotus, Baoshi, you get a carriage. In fact, one is probably sent for you as a gesture of that. Though
Very appropriate.
when you arrive, the driver says, "I thought there were to be 3 of you."
I believe he found other transport.
All right. So I think we'll see the 2 of you in a carriage, and Song Da, are you after Lushan has delivered to you an invitation? How are you traveling there? You're walking to mix with the crowds going up, or something else?
I think he sort of talked up his like official invitation with the bureau and with Sister Lushan, so I think he'll be going in with her as the 2 of them like sweep in, and they're all black and they're very like oppressive quietness observation sort of mood.
Absolutely. And Blue Mountain Scholar, a letter is sent for you.
Yep.
And so I think there is this, it is a winding trail up to the mountains. And I think there is an area outside the estate that's been cleared where carriages and things disembark for sort of that last stage up to the estate household. And even from here, you can see part of what makes the House of Endless Leaves, what gives it that name, is you can see that there is at least a section of the estate that seems to have a kind of an indoor forest. Like you can see that there is a grove of trees, like very high, that have grown up where you might expect like a garden. You can see the boughs of those dents over the tops of the walls. And I think there is that moment when Song, you and Lushan are sitting there getting ready to kind of move ahead, and you will see Iron Lotus and Bao Shi disembarking from a carriage, and this litter stopping and letting out Blue Mountain Scholar. And Lushan will say, do you wish to enter with me, or do you wish to go and speak with your compatriots?
It would be rude to leave poor Blue Mountain Scholar unattended. He travels so much and just complain, but I think it gets to him the age.
You have no need to make excuses to me. I will see you inside.
It's not, it wasn't.
And she's already
Yes.
gone. Blue Mountain
And
Scholar.
Songda will like turn and march directly past Bao Shi and Iron Lotus to go join up with Blue Mountain Scholar.
I pat him on the shoulder and ask how things have been going for him.
Things have been going wonderfully. You know, always new histories to write, and I've been studying the whole period of the 15th Five Rivers War. It was really a very tense couple of weeks.
And I think, you know, Blue Mountain Scholar kind of keeps his hood down. He kind of goes, if you want to stand out in your reporting of this particular incident, I suggest that you concentrate on the puzzle swords.
Like we've seen before, the puzzle swords? You think they'd be here?
Oh, yes. From whence they came, so they will return.
Oh. Thanks for the tip. I'll have to keep an eye out. Is your niece with you tonight?
She'll be joining lately. She had to tie up some affairs back in town.
Oh, well, that's fine. I just worry about you traveling alone at night and things like that. Oh, you're muted.
He says, they carried me here. I'm fine. But when he does start to walk, it's like clearly like his knees have locked up on him a little bit, you know. But he makes a good show of it for an old man.
Iron Lotus, Bao Shi, you kind of turn and kind of maybe watching that scene a little, and you'll hear, Master Bao Shi, Master Iron Lotus. And you see this figure kind of jump out of this carriage even before it's come to a stop, and strides over to you, and you will see Sun Yang, the son of the murderer from the first mystery.
Oh,
And he's like, we are well met. It's good to see you two.
how nice to see you again. I'm hoping that things have been looking up for you.
They are better. I've come to an understanding with my sister, and we have decided that she will take charge of the school, and
That is probably wise.
it is. She's certainly more driven to that. It is more important to her. I've been looking to the affairs of the house outside of the walls. I had hoped to travel to the tournament to see that, but I was detained, and I only heard secondhand about the amazing like solution that you two and the others provided.
Well, I'm telling you that you probably are lucky not to have gone. It was, I'll kind of look over to Iron Lotus, really went quite sideways, didn't it?
Yes, it was. I do say, Master Song Yang, I am glad that you did not go. It was, you could have been in danger. All of us were.
Oh, not with you here there. You saved my life before. and I have no doubt that you will save my life again.
Oh, are you in danger? Should we?
Oh, I hope not.
Oh, I
I am merely here to, as the representative of the House of Sun, to claim our rightful authorities and roles within the Verdant Sword Alliance. So I'm sure there'll be no problems with that.
Yes, yes. Master
Oh.
Song Yang, perhaps you could. How about we escort you and you stay
Oh.
by my side, quite close here,
That would be
where I
that'd be
can
excellent.
keep an eye on you at all times.
I did come by myself, so it's traveling by
Really?
yourself is yes.
You chose to travel alone.
Yes, it didn't seem to me. I mean, I could have brought a servant, but I thought that might be gauche, given that they would have people here.
I see.
Most humble of you. Yes, yes.
It also
Do
would
not
have
worry.
cost, and my sister said that we really couldn't afford the expense, but that's a whole nother thing.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, Master Sung Young, in the meantime, I shall be your servant.
Oh, no, servant. We are friends.
A friendly servant, then. I say,
Yeah.
obviously joking and smiling.
And he seemed just very pleased. Like you get the sense that he hasn't had a friendly face around for a while, and he's just really pleased to see both of you.
That's good.
And I think that at the corner of your eye, Bao-Shi, you will see Songbird Jung disembarking from another carriage.
I will look over and smile in his direction.
I
He
will
will-
elbow Master Baoshi in the back, pushing him forward.
Oh, yes.
Master Bao-Shi, I had hoped that you would be here, but I
I
did not wish to presume.
Master Sung Young, shall we go forward? I say, leaving behind the two.
Oh yes, absolutely. Let's go.
Well, well, we were invited. Apparently, luminaries of the area were invited. I was not aware you were a member.
And you see him stop, and he says, I am merely an acquaintance of some persons in the household. He says, very clearly lying.
I'll give him a kind of crossed look, and that seems to be not a very complete explanation.
I must gather my things together. Perhaps you will escort me in.
I would be more than happy to. Yes, of course.
And he will grab some things, including 2 cages of these butterflies. He will, because they are covered as before, and he will hand one to you. If you would carry that.
Of course, you brought them.
I take them everywhere.
Yes, I've always found them quite lovely. May I look?
Yes, please.
And I'll, look at each of them. And I think maybe I have visited enough and listened to him that I name off which.
Absolutely. You have enough skill, and you knew what happened before, that you can tell that he has handed you the cage with butterflies that are not dangerous.
Mm,
But he definitely has the butterflies that are dangerous in the other cage.
mhm. Some of your most beautiful and wondrous specimens.
And he will go to head inside. Blue Mountain Scholar, you were kind of looking around there. You will see your uncle. Blue Mountain Sentinel is there. He looks over at you. You see him look around to see if Long Song Janai is there, and then doesn't see her, but it kind of gives you that look of ugh, and turns and skulks away.
In a way, it's a relief. Okay.
And then there's that slap hand on both of your shoulders, Song Da, Blue Mountain Scholar. and that smell of wine that wafts over, and his face comes in between the two of you and looks and says, my friends, my friends, my friends.
Undaunted, I thought you might be here.
I wheedled an invitation.
I thought you were on a holy mission to work your way to the bottom of the Blue Mountains wine cellar.
They after I'd had a sampling or two, there was a discussion about brighter pastures, as it were. And so I'm here because I'm very curious, because now I am no spy or scholar or detective or historian like yourself. Two of you, both of you. I am not that. But I am aware that over the last month and a half, a fine stock of wine has been shipped in from all around the area, has been brought up, and I am excited to see. They've had to restock the cellars completely. Everything will be fresh and new and exciting.
I heard they had to rebuild part of the cellars. Parts of the estate had fallen down over the years.
That is what I have heard. They did a lot of work here. I know that they were working when I passed through on my way to Master Sun's estate, which is unusual because what I'd heard people saying is they'd only started work on it a couple of months ago, but that was even longer ago. So someone must be mistaken. Weird, huh?
It's very strange, the vagaries of local residential construction industries.
I'm not exactly a vagrant. I wouldn't call myself a vagrant.
Oh, no. And I certainly didn't mean to comment on you smelling like a vagrant.
Oh, no, I'm used to that. You smell pretty today, though.
But are you smelling me?
Of course. It is one of the five senses. We must embrace all of them.
True, I suppose.
I'm not going to lick you, don't worry. Unless you ask.
Please don't.
Oh, you are a soul, aren't you? Let's go in.
Okay.
And you will enter in. Our Lotus, Baoshi will go in your pairs. A great courtyard. Again, that the estate itself is like that sort of multiple levels of buildings and towers that are kind of built rather than kind of a symmetrical approach. Everything is steps going up and different levels and walkways down. And you will see that there are a lot of other people there. You will see some of the other members of the Alliance there. I think very striking, particularly is Grave of Saints, who has this bandana wrapped around their eyes. They're clearly moving with a large metal walking stick that seems to indicate that they are, in fact, blind. You'll see some others around and about there. Silver Nightfall will wave over at you, Blue Mountain Scholar. And it's just sort of a general milling about, gathering. And it's clearly a significant number of people have arrived by this point. And you'll see on a set of steps with a broad kind of porch, you will see this woman step out, and you will see Master Fawn standing there, and everyone kind of stops, and kind of the hush kind of falls as people she will say, thank all of you for coming to this ceremony. I appreciate that many of you have been kept in dark about what is to come, but trust me, everything will be revealed in time. I appreciate everyone that has come here for honest motivations and dishonest motivations. You are all welcome in this household that we have rebuilt and renewed. And I know that, and all of you will hear noise behind you, like outside the gates. And there's like a rumbling and talking and like kind of maybe even some shouting. And you will see this group kind of come marching in through the gate. You see troops with, you know, armor and weapons and kind of in a big group. And you'll see this figure at the front of it and kind of comes in through the gate. And he looks around and Master Fon kind of stops. This figure says, I am Lord Yao, and I bear an imperial edict. This ceremony is not to take place. Shut the gates. And that's where we'll take up next time. I think just as an Easter egg, I think in the entourage behind Lord Yao, we definitely see Captain Guard Lin and Magistrate Delon sort of like in the wake of this guy, clearly gotten dragged along. So that's what we're going to take up next time. Let's do XP. Bao Shi, did we hit one or both of your entanglements?
Oh,
Like,
I don't think I got a chance to see Lost Song.
Yeah, I don't think so, but I think we had the interaction with Songbird Yun. So
Yeah,
2 points.
2 points. Thank you.
Song Da,
I think we interacted with both of them.
yeah. 3 XP. Lost Song Shinai.
Only one. I didn't get to run into Baoshi.
Okay.
It'd be disapproving, but I
it'd be
did get to snicker at Songda.
So 2 points.
Yes.
And Iron Lotus,
Yeah, I got to hit both.
3 points.
Nice.
I have added the villain playbook moves to the available playbooks under the regular. So they're in there if you want to take a move from another playbook at the far end after unorthodox. It actually worked out well because it means I didn't have to alphabetically rearrange anything by having a villain playbook.
Perfect. Like it was meant to be.
I know these are the kinds of things you have to think about. Let's
I feel
just
like
start.
you're hurting me. I never do
Yes.
alphabetical playbook. You're attacking me.
I do just because I know when I go to look at it up in an actual book, what game was I playing that? Like
Last fleet, there was too many.
Oh yeah, and not in alphabetical order. Oh, and I really like Monster Care Society. Like I think it's a very cool game. I'm really excited about it. But all of the playbook moves, there's no order to them. There's no organization. It's just like you went, see what will fit on the page. And there are multiple pages of them. So if you have to look up something, you have to kind of, I alphabetize them for the character keeper. So that's what you have to do. I would like to do a quick stars and wishes, talk about things that you liked, things that you're excited about, and also like things you definitely want to see happen or get a chance to hit on in the next sessions. I will say before we go to Tyler, to Baushi, I have a couple of secondary mini mysteries to throw on the table for your move that I've got planned out. So I have been thinking about that. Tyler, stars, wishes?
Awesome. Huge stars. It was nice to get back into things. Everybody seemed to kind of fall naturally back into these characters. They feel lived in right here on this first session. We certainly know them. I love seeing Song and Iron Lotus together. It's always great to be with you, Jamie. I love how we play off of each other. Although I thought the kind of intro into this was a nice slide into it. It was one of the, of the three, this one really had a very pleasant move right in that hit us really in a nice spot. So I was very pleased with it. So all around, huge stars. Should I go on to wishes, or
Yeah,
we
let's
take
say
it
it's
stars?
two wishes. I will say I appreciate the indication you guys that all of you gave me at the start, like, hey, we'd like to do some scenes, kind of setup scenes, and because that helped me frame in on where we went, and I appreciate that. Wishes.
Definitely want to interact with Lost Song and I. We need to have a moment. I always like our conversations, and I like our relationship, and I think it's fun that they have this long running friendship that isn't Blue Mountain Scholar. I think that's fun. So I definitely want to see that. And I'd like a chance to have, like, I'd love to see NPC stuff that I could interact with in, like, small people, rather than it all be, because it's very high stakes when it's like suspects. But I'd love to have that opportunity to maybe dabble in the love life or hit some of my little connections with where I'm not actually up on someone who's, the right discovery is that they're a freaking murderer. So I'd rather some little things.
Okay. I think that is fair. Patrick?
I love this group. I love these characters. And every time, like, a new wrinkle of, oh, but you remember this was going on. I'm like, oh God, that was going on. There's so much going on. But I like this new layer of things, like taking a look at the group that sort of touched on all these weird disparate groups that we were dealing with before. I definitely had fun getting back into scenes with and about Iron Lotus, just because they're just at this point as torturous as possible. I always feel a little bit bad because I feel like the dialogue in those scenes, at least from my end, comes off a little bit stilted. But that's because I'm sitting here in my head going like, okay, what's my first response? No, that's too nice. What's my second response? No, that's too declamatory and makes too much sense. It's not vague enough. Okay, let me yes, this one hurts a lot and could mean 5 different things. This is the one. Which has just become a fun sort of improv exercise. Sherry, I like opportunities to see Lost Song Shanai, just because A, like, we've seen so much of Blue Mountain Scholar, and B, like, I'm sure it's not 100% true, but Song Da just seems to usually miss Lost Song Janai, like, just in passing sort of thing, like, oh, she was here like an hour ago, sort of stuff. And I just think that's a weird convention that I enjoy, being like, oh, Lost Song Janai is on the table. Now it's Blue Mountain Scholar getting out of the cab.
Yep. It does seem to happen that way, doesn't it? Oh. Oh,
Um,
the only exception was when you were getting beaten up
Oh, that's
in that
right.
one
Yeah.
fight. That was, yeah.
And Tyler, I enjoy seeing Baoshi in his like the back and forth with Iron Lotus, the Holmes and Watson, the buddy cop sort of detective drama there is always a fun vibe. And moving into Wishes, I'm looking forward to getting to interact with Baoshi again. I enjoyed their sort of like friendship, fandom, worship sort of relationship there. It was fun, and I like the moments where I get to like just be one-on-one with Baoshi, and Song Da's living his best fantasy life of being the detective's assistant like he always dreamed he could be, sort of thing. Let's see. I want to find ways to push forward the investigation into Blue Mountain Scholar Lost Song Shanai. I'm not sure what that is yet, but I want to try and look for meaningful ways to move forward, even if it's for like into wrong interpretations of the facts.
Okay.
I'm just I feel like I've spent a lot of time going like, I don't see anything wrong there. So I'm trying to figure out ways to hook into a more active investigation there.
Well, I think we have a little wedge issue with the whole Master Fawn Blue Mountain thing. We may be able to demonstrate some things there. Awesome. Sherry?
As everyone said, this group is dynamite. Jammy's Iron Lotus is both trying to keep it together, and their heart is so outpouring and clear and transparent. It's lovely to watch. Yes, hyper aware and yet hyper behind the ball all the time. Just good. It's too much, isn't it, Iron Lotus? Golden Beauty. If only we knew, so we could aid each other, but we do not. So, though I suspect, but that's, but I don't know what I suspect. So, let's see here. And Tyler, your Baoshi is the best because you have no fear of doing those scenes that make him maybe look a little foolish, but he's smart and he's insightful and everything, but he is got just enough ego that he is a joy and a pleasure to watch go. Just love it. And Songda, you are prickly. You are the person who always is, I mean, beautiful, and yet like you say the harshest things, and it is wow, it's just wonderful to see, and to everyone around you. So you're equal opportunity. It's really good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting us all tangled up together with a bunch of our old friends. This should be interesting to figure out which one of them is or how much each of them is tied up in all of what's going on here. And I suppose once again, we'll have to look out for Sun Yang. So poor
I came here
child.
by myself.
I'm here to claim my title and rightful. So I'm like, oh no. It shouldn't be a problem. So yeah. Anyway, very fun. I love this world, Lowell. It's awesome. And I know that it's not like you planned it all from the get-go at all, but you always make it feel like there's always been a plan, and it's joyful.
Jamie?
Yeah, so first off, stars to Patrick, who hurts me so well. I really felt like I should have marked wounded at one point. From my end, it didn't feel like the conversation was stilted. It just felt like there was rich tension in the moment. So totally fine from my end. Big stars to Lowell for how immediately engaging this mystery is. I really and for catching me with Xiao Chun, I thought that was like an excellent moment. Like, oh, I could hear the snap of the trap. So that was really great. I really also enjoyed everyone's scenes. I'm really having fun watching Master Baoshi with Songbird Yun. I think that's like absolutely adorable. I really liked seeing the different facets of Blue Mountain Scholar. That was really, really cool. And yeah, I think that's my wish, to like be able to spend more time. I would love to find a way. I don't know how it's gonna happen for Lost Songs and I and Golden Peony to like interact as ladies and then like maybe go towards figuring things out. If there was an opportunity for that, that'd be and
That
I forgot
sounds
to mention.
awesome.
Right? I'd love to see
Is that a
these
Hot
ladies
Springs
taking-
anime scene? Is that what that is?
Oh my gosh, it's a wonderful.
It should be, yes.
Oh, have you heard of this person? That'd be really great. I also forgot to mention a star for Lowell for bringing Iron Lotus, my brother, into it. That was such a good twist. That was like absolutely excellent. So yeah, it's so glad. I'm so happy to be back here. This is one of my favorite games of the year. So I'm glad we get to do it again before the year ends. So thank you.
Awesome. Any wishes otherwise?
Aside from the hot spring anime scene, I think I'd like to be able to pick on Ninth Raven. That's about it.
Okay. Well, definitely, he is definitely on
You are
site.
so cruel to poor Ninth Raven.
Look, I have to find a way to deal with I get hurt by Songda every session. So I need to take it out on
Take
someone.
aggression out of them.
Wonderful. All right, I'm going to stop the recording.